let's go. And let's go pick up someone else to do this with. Let's bring someone else with us. Let's bring someone else with us to the other side.
Well, hello friends, and welcome. Excuse me while I make a few adjustments. Welcome to my new venue, the Horror Train. Let's take it for a ride while we visit, or shall I say, revisit some of the classic vignettes from days past. I remember many conversations where I'd be with some old friends and we'd always imagine what would a vignette sound like if it was really told by the storyteller himself. So, here I am. Let's give it a shot. Let's pick the most interesting and strange and mysterious of all the vignettes and tell it like I would tell a story without the aid of the actors. Other than, we will have the vignette playing behind me, so as a reference to know what's going on. But finally, Vignettes Retold by the master himself, me, the storyteller, back in the game. So sit back and enjoy and put the seatbelt on, 'cause things are gonna get pretty scary around here. Let the terror be told! So, we have our three maniacs in the car. They are clearly up to no good, and now we meet our innocent hitchhiker. This poor lad is on his way to visit his grandmother. He is late and in distress. He doesn't know what's about to happen. The three maniacs see him and identify him as a worthy candidate for their maladventure. Maniac number 2 is screaming out the window at our hitchhiking protagonist. So, the car stops, and the hitchhiker warily walks up, and Maniac number 2 forces him into the car. Clearly, this is a red light for any sane person, especially when this maniac starts screaming, both at the camera and at everyone in the car. In fact, everyone in the car are making noises. Our driver, who is referred to as Betty in this, seems anxious and tense, and he gives our hitchhiker a look like, "Don't mess with us." Meanwhile, the third maniac, who is referred to as Jonathan, remains quiet throughout the ride while the other two make strange noises, screams, and make up little ditties of excitement. Clearly they're getting ready to do something. Meanwhile, our hitchhiker is protesting, "Well, maybe I should get out of the car. I can walk to grandmother's from here. I don't want to be a burden to anyone." This doesn't bode well with our maniacs, who keep trying to assure him that he'll be just fine. And he's along for the ride, and maybe they would enjoy where they're going. They keep referring to a place called the Other Side, and a game is at hand, in between the screams and strange sounds. But our hitchhiker keeps on protesting. He wants to get out of the car, and Jonathan quietly says, "It's okay. You'll be just fine. You'll be just fine." And then the driver, Betty, even shouts at him. He turns around and says, "I don't want to hear any shit about your grandmother." Meanwhile, Maniac number 2 gets all riled up saying, "I had an idea around here. Where did my idea go?" Starts asking everyone in the car, even Jonathan, the quiet one. "Jonathan, have you seen my idea?" this doesn't go anywhere, so Maniac number 2 says we better just get moving, and checks in with Jonathan. Yes, let's go to that place. Let's go to the place. Jonathan reassures the hitchhiker that he'll be just fine at this place, wherever they're going, potentially the other side, whatever that means. So the screaming and mayhem continue, and they pull into this parking lot. That's a nice car he was driving. So they arrive, and Jonathan calmly says, "We're here." So they exit the car and come across this strange field where they pause and take stock. I feel as though the three maniacs take this moment to breathe in and all these vivid impressions of what's going on and to innerly prepare themselves for whatever it is they're going to do. Meanwhile, the hitchhiker, utterly flummoxed, remains their, I wouldn't call it guest, but he goes along. He's forced along with them on this perilous place, this horrible journey. And now, in the wood, another place of extreme beauty and sanctity, they begin to steady themselves. Excitement and anxiety, and reassurance that you, the hitchhiker, are going to be fine. You'll be fine. I've never heard anyone, Betty says to the innocent hitchhiker. Maniac number 1 prepares for what's about to happen. Maniac, the driver, is getting excited, but there is a sense of something. And then Jonathan, he says, "I'm glad we had this time together. I'll see you on the other side," and shoots Maniac 1 and 2. Then he tests the gun. He shoots himself once, reloads, shoots himself a second time, and dies. Now here's the strange thing. The hitchhiker, utterly befuddled, witnessing what he witnesses, crying, late for his grandmother. He picks up the gun and shoots himself. Well, those were the days now, weren't they? When you could just sit down with some old friends and tell a good story. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, I think that was a pretty successful endeavor, don't you? So, I'm reaching my destination. My train will be stopping any moment now, where I'll be getting off and telling more stories to more folks, just like you, telling them stories just like you witnessed. And as you can verify, they're far scarier when told by me, the storyteller, in person. Ah! So, see you next time, wherever and whenever the train stops for you. Beware, the Horror Express is coming to your town.